We're getting into XRP, and wow, check out what I stumbled across. Binance's XRP stash tumbles to record lows. Liquidity freeze? The internet is going absolutely nuts over this thing right now. XRP supply on Binance hits rock bottom, a strong sign of institutional interest or lack of retail demand. And brace yourself, 300 million XRP has straight up evaporated. Since early October came around this year, we'd always pictured scarcity hitting XRP someday, but that vision felt like forever away territory. Cut to 2025, and scarcity is plastered across every single discussion you can find. Fresh articles keep pouring in, and they're laser focused on scarcity every hour of every day. I'm noticing Jake Claver's comment section getting slammed with folks asking when. The XRP is going to run dry at those over-the-counter windows and behind the scenes in dark pools, because this realization just landed on everyone. Wait a second, 100 billion XRP might seriously not be sufficient. XRP can now be purchased via Apple Pay and Google Pay across 40 countries. This is a perfect example of why to never keep your XRP on the exchange. As soon as it's about to rip, they all of a sudden have an issue. And peep this, CME futures froze up incredibly in. That classic stunt they executed on silver and gold moments before explosion, that's the script being followed with XRP right this minute. Look, I need you to understand something. The moment XRP rockets into price discovery territory, these exchanges are going to pull the plug on trading. Out of nowhere, you're locked out from selling. Buying's off the table too. Then the number slides back slightly, and wouldn't you know it, the exchange miraculously works again. This right here is proof you shouldn't leave your crypto parked on exchanges. Not your keys, not your crypto. Simple as that. Hook your wallet directly into the XRP ledger, and you can flip coins straight through the DEX. Plus, Google basically holds your hand through every step. And so it begins. That's Paul Barron's take. And check out this headline. Ripple's RLUSD, recognized as accepted fiat reference token for use within Abu Dhabi's ADGM. So the UAE just stamped RLUSD with fiat approval right there. I'm genuinely pumped about where this is headed. Cross-border payments are going to flow using RLUSD as the backbone. Once that machinery starts humming, chances are they'll shift toward utilizing XRP because XRP absolutely demolishes cross-border payments. Lightning quick and dirt cheap compared to running RLUSD. But honestly, it's kind of irrelevant since this RLUSD will almost certainly be moving across the XRP ledger anyway. Every time value crosses the XRP ledger, you're stacking utility and injecting value directly into XRP. Ripple, RLUSD stablecoin, surpasses $1 billion in supply on Ethereum. Now, I've picked up on Ripple recently pushing harder on the XRP ledger side. Those final 10 minutes played out on the XRP ledger, but watching RLUSD expand like this is awesome. To get that ball rolling, I've been vocal about it eventually cracking into the top 10 stablecoin tier. Beyond that point, it's marching toward the #1 throne as the clock ticks. Pundit says XRP has been a speculative asset, waiting for the next rally. And Crypto Eddie weighs in with, because the XRP ledger doesn't have smart contracts, it relies on other protocols for yield, utility, and staking. And she's championing Flare really strongly in that commentary. Look, let me level with you. Flare has me completely hooked. That thing's transforming into something absolutely monstrous. I'm also betting it's going to supercharge utility for XRP in a big way. I refuse to paint this picture as XRP battling Flare though. They're feeding off each other brilliantly, and I simply catch more potential in XRP, and David Schwartz says Ripple should have prioritized smart contract capabilities on the XRP ledger sooner. But guess what we've discovered? They've actually figured out the smart contract riddle. Ripple launched into smart contract exploration on the XRP ledger last year. That effort has already delivered some real breakthroughs with the functionality running on the XRP ledger's AlphaNet earlier this year, creating space for developers to play around before the mainnet flips the switch. They've already unlocked a smart contract pathway, and that's going to reshape everything for the XRP ledger. You're going to notice project after project piling in and expanding from that foundation. Flare channels utility directly into XRP. It cracks open opportunities for you to stake and harvest returns with your XRP at the same time. But I certainly wouldn't frame one as replacing the other, like Crypto Eddie's insinuating there. And this comes rolling in from Cyprus. Most people still think of crypto in the terms of price, but the next big shift is going to be about cryptography itself. This report makes it clear the encryption that secures today's digital systems, including blockchains, will eventually be broken. By quantum computing, that means any asset meant to survive long-term needs to be built on quantum-resistant foundations, or at least be ready to migrate. We're talking about a once-in-a-history event where the basic security layer of the internet, banking, and digital value all has to be upgraded. For long-term investors, the assets and networks preparing now for post-quantum cryptography and agile security will be the ones that remain trustworthy when the shift comes. I've been pounding the table on this. It reaches far beyond quantum proofing alone. We're already clued in that XRP will have quantum defense buttoned up before quantum computers turn into an actual menace. But let's pivot and dig into crypto valuation. I keep hammering folks with this. Stop staring at today's price tag. Zero in on where that figure sits a month ahead, 2 months ahead, a year into the future. We're balanced right on the brink of institutional adoption, which is going to spark mass adoption immediately after. The bulk of cryptocurrencies bouncing around at this moment are going to disappear once regulatory hammers drop. Where do you suppose all that liquidity stuck in those tokens winds up? It's rushing straight into cryptocurrencies that survive the squeeze point known as regulations. Even Brad Garlinghouse sees this coming, and Lehman Baird over at Hedera recognizes it fully. He's called it out in statements. Additional leaders have mirrored that exact sentiment. They're blaring the warning signal right now that if you're gripping a cryptocurrency offering zero tangible value, zero practical real-world purpose, chances are strong that cryptocurrency is getting erased. Once regulations touch down and the cryptocurrencies left standing are going to explode in valuation because that's where every dollar will be rushing toward. And I honestly think maybe from all the cryptocurrencies we observe today, roughly 100 of them will remain breathing in the future. XRP Rich List. Okay, so this fresh list just dropped, and wow, the commentary is everywhere. People won't stop pointing out how the entry point for the 1% keeps sliding down, right? But hang on, here's the real story nobody's connecting. Holders aren't liquidating their positions. Brand spanking new wallets keep appearing around the clock. Rookies are stepping into this arena constantly. I catch them across X every time I'm scrolling. The way they phrase their questions, total tells. The tokens they get excited about, instant identification. Look, most of these beginners are currently stuck in the meme coin rabbit hole and everything that comes with it. Down the road, though, utility projects will capture them all eventually. But regarding this rich list situation, selling pressure isn't the factor here. Those numbers aren't contracting the way certain narratives push you to accept. The reality? The participant pool is expanding. Increasing numbers of people are scooping up XRP. Identical dynamics with XLM, with XDC, with HBAR, the whole lineup. CBDC rollout slows as countries hit pause, reevaluate the risk. Let me break down what's unfolding here. Nations are hesitating on central bank digital currencies, and I'm pretty sure there's one massive reason. Stablecoins are basically steamrolling across the entire globe at this very second. Every government on the planet wants to drop their own digital money. Maybe through a central bank digital currency route, maybe through a stablecoin avenue. But seriously, what's the incentive to adopt a central bank digital currency when stablecoin alternatives exist everywhere? That's the situation developing in real time. So my read? It's definitely jamming up CBDC momentum significantly. This could genuinely scare a ton of these governments straight out of the CBDC game. And you know what? I'd be celebrating that outcome. Listen, the CBDC blueprint is something literally zero people are excited about. Think about holding money that comes with a built-in kill switch, a use-by date just ticking away. Authorities can snatch it back on a whim. Every purchase you make gets filtered through central bank approval systems. I'll take a stablecoin from some private operation over that nightmare. Sure, RLUSD's got clawback mechanics baked into it. My guess is compliance teams demanded that functionality. Sanctions enforcement, blocking shady deals, all that regulatory stuff. But XRP, completely different animal. Nobody's reversing those transactions. I need to really emphasize this point because the misinformation keeps circulating. People claiming Ripple's got some magic button to drain XRP from your hardware wallet. Total fantasy. That technology doesn't exist for XRP. Still, I'm rooting for more countries to jump on the stablecoin train instead. Citizens win big over the long haul with that approach. And that's what's suffocating CBDCs in their crib. Stablecoins are handling the entire job already. America's digital dollar, though, non-negotiable. Washington needs it penetrating markets where paper greenbacks just can't travel today. Think emerging economies, remote areas, everywhere in between. Banking the unbanked was always the headline story, providing financial infrastructure to people locked out of the system. That excluded population? We're looking at billions of humans worldwide. Dropping US dollars into all those waiting hands would turbocharge American currency power across the planet. That's what digital currency was really designed to accomplish from the very beginning, getting a digital dollar infrastructure running globally. But wrap it up as a stablecoin, that's when you'd see mass adoption for buying coffee, paying bills, all the everyday stuff. People would jump on stablecoins way faster than touching any CBDC with a 10-foot pole. Now here's where XRP holders can just relax and smile. None of this drama actually touches us. XRP's already shuffling dollars around in every shape they come in. Old school fiat, digital versions, you name it. Roll out a central bank digital currency tomorrow, XRP doesn't even blink because it's built to carry anything valuable across the network. That's our golden ticket to wealth at the finish line. Just need some patience while everything falls into place. Keep that optimistic mindset locked in. Really appreciate every single one of you watching this. You guys are awesome. I'll catch you in the next upload.